We did the awards, the California State University Fullerton Department of Communications Awards Ceremony. So it honored all of these students who got scholarships, awards for honors, and any other kind of prestigious thing of the College of Communications. So we're going to start out with, if I can get this to work, you should the arrow.
Just the arrow.
Okay, so for our objectives, our key audience was students who are receiving awards, also their guests and the donors that attended. And our main goal was to honor our students and to portray the prestige and sophistication and elegance of the event, kind of prop up the communications department as well. And our big goal was to stay within the budget, of course, which was $7,800. And another huge goal was to stay within our allotted time frame. It was scheduled from 6:30 to 9:30, and we wanted to make sure that the script was edited to be quicker paced and interesting, and so that the event would end on time or early. And we decided to get several student photographers for the event. And we wish to improve the design of the invitations, which we're able to. And we attempted to obtain sponsors and donations, which we got a few, but not quite as many as we hoped. And we just wanted to stay with our SMART goals, the specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely goals. We want to make sure everyone was fed because we were really short on food last time. So we adjusted that to make sure it was more of a selection.
Okay, so I'm going to go over the SCOT analysis. We had several strengths for our event this year. Our venue was probably our first strength just because it was all-inclusive, it was big enough to fit all of our guests, and we had used the venue before. So Shelly, the event coordinator, was very willing to work with us. She is familiar with nonprofits, was very flexible when it came to our budget, so that was very helpful. Another one of our strengths was this year we did not receive a higher budget like we had hoped for, but we did look to receive donations. We were aiming for more monetary donations than we actually received. However, we exceeded our expectations in rental donations. We got a red carpet. We got all of our centerpieces donated, and with the help of Taylor, we were able to have all of our invitations printed. Some of our challenges were we were still getting RSVPs up until the day of the event. It made it hard for us to accommodate our guests. It made it hard on our program and our schedule, so it was just cumbersome. Another one of our challenges were we included a details card with the invitation, and on this details card there was some important information that our guests needed to know. The biggest one was that anyone they brought was required to pay $25, and we did have a few people who missed that details card and were a little bit upset about the price. One more challenge we had was next year we would suggest doing multiple types of invitations, one that is specific to faculty, one that is specific to students, and one that is specific to donors. We had a little bit of confusion by just creating one master. Some of our opportunities, like I already mentioned, were the donations. We only received $200 in monetary donations, but we made up for that in other areas. We are a new committee. We've never planned this event before. We also have a new client who has never worked on this event before. So that was an opportunity for some new ideas, sort of a fresh start. We also had student MCs. We had a graduate student and an undergrad student, and that helped us reach our student demographic. They were able to relate, and I think they did a spectacular job at the event. A couple of our threats were obviously our small budget. And our list that we received of awardees were not correct, and they were not given to us in their entirety, so that was a little bit of a threat. And that's pretty much it. I think we can move on. Okay, so instead of going over our entire calendar again, like we already did in our proposal, just want to kind of recap our main points of preparation. We sent out save the dates in March. We also booked our 3 photographers in March. Decorations, we started seeking in April. We started looking for the red carpet, painting our centerpieces, choosing our color scheme for the event. Invitations, we had hoped to send them out on April 6th. They didn't go out quite as soon as we hoped just because of our lists, but we worked with it because we had to. Catering, we finalized our menu in April. Another strength I forgot to mention was that our food was much more abundant this year. It was much more filling. That was a lot of great feedback that we got in that area. Professor McAlexander helped us with our script this year. I think he did a great job. He engaged our audience. He made it funny, he made it entertaining, and it was very dry in the past. So that was good. We started working on that in April as well. Programs, those had to wait till a little bit later because we didn't have RCPs, we didn't have the list of awardees until much later. So that was kind of crunch time. We had to do it a week or so before the event. And the location. Like I mentioned, the location was at Springfield Banquet Center. It's a very elegant venue. It helped us cut down costs on decorations because less is more in this situation. We didn't want to overpower the look of the event. Parking was in back of the building, so we chose to have our guests enter through the front. It was more of a grand entrance. We really wanted to make our guests feel like celebrities, make them feel special. We rolled out the red carpet. So I think the venue helped play a good part in making that successful. These are just some photos of our invitation, our details card, and our program.
So the one in the middle of the details card is the one that a lot of people missed and what we had problems with when we got to the front and didn't know that they had to pay. So in the future, it'd probably be a good idea to maybe make that a little bit larger, if not the same size as the invitation, instead of just something that you add onto in the
Or even just right on the invitation so there's no room for error.
A couple pictures from the event. The one on the left top is going to be from the balcony looking down, and then a couple of the awardees.
Okay, and as for outcome, major plus for us was that we finished 30 minutes before we thought we were supposed to finish. So that was great. Everybody was so surprised, especially Mick Alexander. He was like very happy about that. Also, like Rachel said, everybody had the opportunity to grab like a couple appetizers. According to our surveys that we got, like our respondents, they really enjoyed the food. They liked the variety of it, and you can kind of say they got like what they paid for in a way, but not really. But they got more than last year. And also, all RSVPs were awarded. There were some RSVPs that didn't come, but most of them did get awarded. And then we're also under budget, thanks to the sponsors and the donors. We got $200 monetary, and then 2 item donations, like they said, the red carpet and then the table decoration. And also the reaction of the guests were kind of positive. They enjoyed it. Also with our surveys, they would recommend the same layout for next year, but just the thing is the $25 fee. So hopefully that kind of goes down a bit next year.
Yeah, so to measure generally the success of the event, we did do a questionnaire, and out of all of the programs on the table, so over 200 people, 101 cards were filled out and collected. Generally, the overall responses to the questions, we said, did you like the event? All the questions were yes or no. Did you like the event? Did you like the food, the decorations? Was the program entertaining? And then would you recommend the same organization for next year? Overall, it was very positive. We had a lot of yeses for everything, but on some of the cards, you could tell that people were just kind of trolling. They'd write no for everything. I did add those in because technically it is a survey that I have to add it into. But for the most part, it was all very positive feedback, and a lot of people wrote, you know, you did a great job, and extra little comments. Some of the comments weren't very positive, though, which helps because it gives us an idea of what we can improve on. And the additional input that was written on the cards were things like the price, or the food was not appealing. For the most part, people were saying the food wasn't appealing and the price was too steep, kind of on the same card. I don't really understand, because how can they expect to pay $25 and say that's too much, and then say that the food isn't very good? It kind of seems like a trade-off where they expect a steak dinner, but they want to pay $10. So not really something we can help them with. They said that the room was really cold. This was true. They weren't really running around maybe as much as us, so we didn't feel it. But at the same time, I'd rather be a little too cold and chilly than have them all sweating in there and complaining. The program was cheesy. A couple cards said that they didn't like the jokes and things, but overall we thought it was a lot of fun, and we had a lot of people leaving with smiles on their face, so we really liked it. And then the adjacent room, a room we had downstairs, more under us for the most part, was a little loud at times, and they were having a lot of fun, which isn't a problem because we were doing the same thing, but some people, I guess, it bothered them, and they decided to tell us about it. So it's not really something that we can fix, but I guess having it in the TSU next year, it might be something that we can eliminate completely. And then, again, mentioning the misinformation for some of the guests with the cards about how to pay. We already said if you could put that on the program for next year, it would help out a whole lot.
Also, to add on that, I think the thing that we could change for next year is to not allow faculty to receive RSVPs, because that's where we got a lot of feedback from some students that they sent their RSVPs to some professor and they didn't add them to the list. So maybe crack down on that and let the faculty know to not receive RSVPs and only send it to Jenny or to who is in charge of the event next year.
So do we have any questions for